talk about precision, there's not going to be one bad shot among them. Not one weak link.
Oh, yes. One. Have to let Knowles go, I think.
Oh, why is that, the poor man?
He thinks of nothing but his pigs. He lives for his pigs. He talks like them, walks like them, rolls in the mud like them. When I was numbering off yesterday and it came to him, he snorted.
He did not.
He did.
Silly.
I went by the left number and I heard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. But they're worried about the maneuvers. I know that much.
At least they're ready. You thought they wouldn't be.
Yeah, they're getting along at such a rate, I may have to tell them how good they are.
Edgar, that's awful. You haven't told them?
Oh, you've got to watch that sort of thing. Credit has got a way of putting you in debt. When I tell them what's right with them, they'll feel free to tell me what's wrong with me. You know that crowd. But I'll have to find some way to thank them, I suppose.
Well, then, you better get ready for a social, Sergeant.
A what? Social?
You just now instructed me to organize a do for your comrades in arms as a way of thanking them for their stalwart defense of Tamarack. And I, who should have thought of it sooner, I'll see it's done without delay.
I don't recall saying anything about a social.
Of course you did. Look at your face with lies all over it.
When did I say we'd have it then?
Tonight.
And who would we invite to add a bit of a balance?
Well, Maddie, Peg, Tess, Maureen, and anyone else I can find.
Yes, and there'll be ditties, hand dancing, and snuggling it up and downstairs like animals.
No, you're going to keep your fellas in hand, and there won't be any of that up and downstairs.
That's us, not them. But I wish I'd heard from Wilcox. I might have something to tell them. Won't it be great? Eh? But all belong to the Canadians.
Mm-hmm. That it would. Can I do my work now?
Yes. Now I've got to go back to the firing range. Why don't you come down with me?
Certainly not. Anyone would think I was soft in the head. Her husband plays with soldiers, and she goes there and watches. You using real ammunition?
Yes, we find we can't hit the targets with dummies.
No, I won't bother. It frightens me some. You have a good time, hmm?
Oh, a good time? We're wringing wet down there, woman.
Oh. Well, that's another reason I'd rather stay away.
Colonel?
Oh, it's Fleming.
You know this man?
His name, sir?
Sturgis, E.L. Permanent Force, Tamarack.
Don't know the man.
He's got opinions. Coming out strong for a complete reorganization of the militia. Starting with a step-by-step transfer of British control to total Canadian control. He's even wondering when Lord Dundonald's going back. Thinks Canada's picked up quite enough. And with gratitude and respect, can go the rest of the way on her own. Morale is low. Theirs is a lifeless routine which would take on a new spirit if the leadership were fully Canadian. Well, King's rules and regulations are one thing, but he would rather have the old book bound in Canadian.
Unbelievable. There never has been, nor will there ever be in Canada, the mettle of the English officer. They don't seem to grasp that we have had Eton and Sandhurst behind us. What does he think would happen if they were left on their own? Without our standards, our influence. Couldn't possibly work. It isn't the book alone, it's the superior stamp we put on them that pulls them through. Even then, they do not bear close inspection.
Come now, Captain. You can't say that of the 73rd Northumberland, for example.
Oh, from here, sir, they make quite an impression. They might even pull themselves in shape for your bi-monthly inspections. But I would urge you to have a word with Lieutenant Lake, sir. Arrive back with the opinion that, and these are his words, when they're not stumbling, they're grumbling.
Lieutenant Lake, if I'm not mistaken, is still living down a broken nose from his visit to the Grand Trunk Railway disturbance.
If you don't mind my saying so, sir, he got that because he's English, which calls for more control, not less, sir. May I ask who the company officer is at Tamarack?
Well, the Tamarack contingent is under strength. 20-odd men only, under Sergeant Sturgis, E.L. of that letter, with bi-monthly inspections by Second Lieutenant Cadigan and Second Lieutenant Moore from Toronto.
Provisional, sir?
Well, provisional, yes.
Permit me to say, sir, that the laxity starts there. That letter should have gone from Sturgis to Moore or Cadogan, and then on to yourself.
Oh, yes. If we were able to reach each other too easily, we might get used to making one snap decision. That would be the end of us.
Yes, sir. Everything takes time. Tell me, sir, would you allow me to go to Tamarack?
Well, both Moore and Cadogan agreed that it was becoming a very tight and much improved little unit. I know Moore and Cadogan have never seen Sandhurst.
That's right, sir. I wouldn't want to go if we were not getting close to the Petawawa exercises.
Very well. I shall look forward to your report.
Yes, sir.
Captain Fleming.
Huh?
I would like you to observe only.
Of course, sir. Unless they're completely out of hand.
Get those butts tight into the shoulders. Now, what's the difference from yesterday? Same positioning, same 200 yards, same 6-foot targets.
The wind, Sergeant.
There's no wind, Knowles.
Well, that's what I mean, Sergeant.
Cut the laughter. I can laugh because I'm not holding a rifle. You can't laugh because you might nick Mrs. Tate bent over her woodbox. Now listen to me, individuals. The difference today is that the sun is shining. Not only shining, it's shining from the left. And when it does, it lights up the right side of the back notch. Have a look. And the left side of the foresight. When these two spots are aligned on the mark, the ball goes to the right and vice versa. Company will fire off 8 rounds, 200 yards. Knowles, keep your mind off your pigs this time. Do a job. Company! Loud! Range 200. That's your targets in front. Fire!
You're not allowed down there today? Uncle Edgar won't let me when they're using real ammunition. We didn't tell Mrs. Galloway that we only had half a day. She doesn't need to know. If she sees any other children going by, she'll make a note in her report book and tell Father when he gets back. No, she won't. Why won't she? Because she won't be able to find her report book. Where is it? It's up on the roof with my sponge red ball. First my ball got stuck up there. Then I need something to throw at her to knock it down with. You could have thrown a stick. Yes, I know. Well, she'll write her notes on something else then. Worrying won't help. We'll know soon enough. Aunt Sheila and Uncle Edgar are having a party. Yes, I know. Wouldn't it be nice to go? We'll go then. We'll put things in our beds. I don't want to be alone in the house with Galloway. Mrs. Galloway. She's not married. She might have been. He's dead, probably. Probably choked on her lumpy old porridge. Hello, Mr. Short. Hello, Mr. Short.
Hello, children. Well, please.
We're expecting a letter from our mother.
Oh, you are? Well, there's the bag, but as you can see, there's a lock on it. No one can get in there until Harry Hall gets here. And even he won't give it to you right out of the bag. You'll just have to wait until he delivers it around to your house.
Well, we're not going home right away.
Well, it'll be there when you do.
Who asked Mr. Hall?
Well, ask him for all I care. You want the government to put me away?
Well, I do. Okay, but 3 ladies in this pair. Let me just...
Staying long, gentlemen?
No, not long. We'd like to find out where Edgar Sturgis hangs his hat.
Oh, well, it's quite a ways from here. This is a big place, you know.
He's not home.
This young man is Edgar's nephew.
And his best friend.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm Reggie Finn, and these creations are Georgie Deering and Dougie Nash. Now, we're old friends of your uncle, too.
How do you do? How do you do?
Glad to meet you, son.
How do you do? This is my sister, Jane. How do you do? Why don't you wait for Mr. Hall and get him to give your mother's letter?
Oh, all right.
Come on, then. I'm the company bugler.
Oh, gentlemen. Lead on, Mr. Bugler.
All aboard!
All right, there. Left wheel.
Keep it down so we can see it. Come on, George, lead the way. All right. Stay low on me. Come on.
Coming to the order. Hard. Coming to right. Fast. Eyes right, right. Coming the eyes. Front. Collins not too good at the 200. Well, I sure give you that bullseye to take home with you. Knowles? Knowles. What's that? Allow me to introduce the 3 worst soldiers in the book. These idiots nearly got me killed 10 times over in Africa, and there's not a bit of it on record.
Well, thank God for that mercy, huh?
Georgie Deering. Corporal Georgie Deering, he was.
And still am.
Yeah.
He got the stripe I should have had.
This underfed individual here is Reggie Finn.
How'd you do, men?
This quiet one over here, who ran over our commanding officer's well-built lean-to on horseback, is Douglas Nash.
Hello, men.
And now that you confused everything properly, would you mind?
Hard! I trust your officer in charge has left you alone.
No, sir. I'm in charge, sir.
Are you now? And who might you be?
Sergeant Sturgis, EL, sir.
Oh, yes. Just read something of yours.
And the captain, sir? You don't mind my asking, sir?
The important thing is that you are Sergeant Sturgis.
Fleming.
Rub your hands to him.
You're a prince, Edgar.
Edgar, come here.
What's the way, Harry?
I had a birthday yesterday.
Congratulations.
How old do you think?
Too old for the militia.
Can't you play anything else?
Poor Barrett's inaccurate as hell.
Well, I don't care. Now, the old peroxetine burst into 1,204 pieces. Are you telling me some of that wasn't accurate?
That was ugly and inhuman. It should have been a rifle and bayonet blow.
But it wasn't, huh?
Well, it was supposed to be until the mathematicians got into it.
But you could save a lot of charging in hand-to-hand just by squatting at home trenching and sending it out in all directions.
By you in charge?
Sergeant Sturgis, report to me immediately in the adjoining room.
Sir.
Why did you men not go straight through to Petawawa?
We're not due there till Monday, sir.
This is Friday.
We were given the extra time to drop in here, sir.
By whom? Your passes, who issued them? Oh, yes. Mr. Dwyer. Another one.
Thank you. And I have to report to him in my establishment.
Come in, Sergeant. I should have dressed you down out on the field, but I did not think it was a good idea in front of the men. That was the most disgraceful exhibition I have ever witnessed by a soldier. Your misdirection of those men is criminal. They will not be ready for our exercises, and they may never be ready. They are immature, irresponsible, crude, and desperately in need of leadership. You, obviously, cannot provide that. You are the same man who wrote that letter shown to me by Colonel Wilcox. What a confession of insubordination was that piece of work. I would have at least expected its author to have backed it up with a decent degree of soldiering. If what I've witnessed here is what you meant in your letter by full and total control of the military by Canadians for Canada, then I would ask you to refrain from repeating that ambition in public. Your company will abandon all form of exercise preparations until further notice. And yourself, being permanent force, will await further orders following my report.
I wish to speak to
You may not. Dismissed.
Perfect. Now, what about those flags on the string? Yeah, do you think we could put them around here? Yes. All right, red, white, and blue.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Outside of poisoning the man.
This was our fault. Why didn't you tell him that?
Because it's me he's after.
Oh, that's much improved, Darby.
Thank you, ma'am.
There'll be dancing, won't there?
Yeah, only till the floor caves in. Oh, I wish you could stay, you know that. I really wish I could say yes.
So does she.
Well, I may not get a chance to dance tonight. I'm going to be that busy, so I think I'll have mine now. Come on. You were born to dance. You and I.
Good evening, Harry.
Evening.
Evening, Mr. Hall.
Evening.
Good evening, Harry.
Evening.
Evening, Harry.
Evening.
Mine too. And so am mine if I don't get that one's arms around me for the next one. Isn't she awful? You watch yourself. No, you watch me.
You know, I'm not as old as I look.
Is that a fact?
How old would you say I am?
Oh, about as old as this tune I'm playing now.
When did the children leave?
About half an hour ago. It was still plenty light out. It's been a change in them since Claire's been away. Do you notice that?
Well, they're relying on each other a bit, which is a good thing. You left without an argument?
Then, yes, very responsible.
Oh, he's off again. Darby, don't you have another tune up your sleeve besides that old woman's one?
It's not an old woman's one. It happens to be my very favorite, and he learned it specially.
Oh, Irish bog music, isn't it? Well, we better make some use of it, Look out, Douglas. Here she comes again.
Is your leg in a splint or what?
No, ma'am.
Then you're fit enough to dance.
Oh, we never danced in my family.
Oh, well, we certainly danced in mine. Now, up with you.
No, ma'am, please, I'd best just sit here.
What?
If you don't mind, I just like watching. You can sit with me.
Oh, that's not watching music. That's dancing music. Excuse me.
Stand easy.
That was yours?
Yes, it was.
Come on.
Looking at you.
Yes, I know. He loves me.
Well, someone should offer him a refreshment.
No. That's what he wants.
It doesn't look as if he's going to move.
Anyway, he's not going to ruin it for me. I think it's time for a toast.
Toast.
If you please, ladies and gentlemen, a toast. Or two.
The dancing's over. They're just gonna talk for the rest of the night. We better go.
Yes, I did. Clement. Thank you for taking me to the dance.
The king! Oh, you don't have a glass, sir. Well, this too, sir.
Yes.
The king!
King!
And to Canada, our home. Long may she live and love.
Canada! To our host and hostess, Sergeant Edgar, and his delightful Irish catch.
To Edgar and Sheila.
My poor brain can't hold any more of this. What's next, men?
Well, to Reggie, Douglas, and Georgie of C Company.
The Sea Company!
And to Mafeking.
To Mafeking.
And for getting the hell out of there.
Right. Those of us that did.
To Maddie.
Thank you, sir. Look at that one now.
Yes, she might even have to give up dancing.
Those of us that did, I said.
We heard you, Georgie.
Are you sure now, Edgar? Did everybody hear me? Going to sleep already, sir? Tell me, Aren't you ever afraid you won't wake up, sir? Some didn't, you know. And they were friends of mine.
Take care, Corporal.
Here's to all here. And here's to the sleeping, hard at rest. And here's to those who simply couldn't make it this evening, and we know why, don't we, sir?
Sergeant! Sir, if that's what you are, you'd better keep this man respectful.
You wanted to see me, sir.
Yes. I don't want anyone to hear what I'm about to say to you, Corporal, because I want to save you embarrassment. Although, judging from last evening, I would say that such considerations escape you.
But, sir,
you may save your apology for later. Our first step is to make certain that you understand the enormity of your accusations.
I don't remember, sir.
That's no surprise. You were blind drunk.
I mean, sir, that I don't remember accusing the captain of anything, sir.
Do you honestly expect an officer and a gentleman to stand here and bandy words with you?
Sir, with all due...
Quiet! Your accusations were aimed straight at me and designed to discredit only me! Dangerous man. Perhaps you've served enough time. Perhaps you want to be paid off. It would be a shame if that were true. Because I like to think that the Army doesn't make mistakes. You were drunk, after all. So here's what we're going to do. In order to avoid this blot on your record, you will apologize to me in public. You will say, I was mistaken and insubordinate. If the Army means anything to you,
I will.
Sir. Sir.
We have not yet been given the go-ahead to get ready for Petawawa. That what's on your mind. You're here at the request of Captain Fleming.
Huh? No, Sergeant. It's not my request. It's Corporal Deering's request.
Corporal Deering, sir?
Yes, Sergeant.
Call him out, Sergeant.
2 paces, step forward. Forward!
Well, Corporal Deering, now do you have something to say?
Yes, sir. Sir, in the matter of my scurrilous behavior at the Mafeking Hotel on the evening of July 1st, be it known by all present that while certain Accusations were directed at the captain, said accusations were a complete fabrication brought on by my inebriated condition and were in no way intended to affect the captain's good name. I, Corporal Deering, G.W., do hereby apologize and swear this to be true. Sir!
And who wrote that out, Corporal?
I did, sir.
Apology accepted. Dismiss them, Sergeant.
Huh?
Poor Georgie.
Yes.
I'll bet you're glad it didn't happen to you.
Could have, though, couldn't it? And just like Georgie, I would have... Well, I would have done what he did last evening.
But you wouldn't have apologized, like he did over there.
I'm afraid I would have.
I don't believe that.
I'm sorry. But it would have gone against me if I hadn't. Then all my army time would have been a waste, you see. So just like Georgie, I would have done what I was told, and then after a bit of time went by, my apology would be forgotten.
How long would that take?
Twice no time, I expect. People forget a lot of things about you because they got themselves to think about. Huh?
Georgie remembered the captain all the way back to the war. He never forgot.
Well. Molly, he didn't forget, did he?
No, sir.
Never let go of it for a minute, did he? As long as it was the truth, a fellow like Georgie would never forget, would he?
That's right, sir.
And the truth should never be covered up, should it?
No, sir.
No. I'm going to see Georgie.
Georgie, where'd you get to, man? Don't know. It's me, Edgar. If you don't come out, I'm going to bayonet the bush. You hear that? Go away from here, Edgar. I didn't hear you. You heard me. Go away, I said. I saw you. Go to hell. All of you go to hell. Leave all of this for Fleming? That's what I came to talk to you about. Fleming, I want to find out a few more things. Georgie, get out here on the double. No! All right. Stay in there, then. There's no room for you anyway. You were a boy soldier then, and you're still a boy soldier. You don't rate a damn. And I got more important things to do. Stay in there. And build yourself one of them nice, leafy lean-tos to hide under. Do you remember? The kind you hid under in Africa for 18 months.
It's a good thing. You know what the charge is for slaughtering a sergeant? Sit up now.
I wasn't with you fellas then. It was when Fleming had been reassigned to the Strathconas and had helped take us up to Greylandstadt in July. On 30th June, the day before we left, the count of those taken with fever was 20 or more. 10 of them were blind with it, and he sent them out anyway. Nobby Price, Roger Pettijohn, they keeled over before we got out of camp. And by the time we got to Standerton, we were 2/3 of a regiment, and by the time we got out, we were half. You should have seen him in there, Edgar. Good, brave, sick men wheeling around and around and waiting to be hit. And they were, and I could. And they shouldn't have been there.
I know.
They used to call the Strass the scalp hunters, but most of them were asleep compared to Fleming. Why the hell do you think he transferred out of Strathcona's over to the RCR, huh? But I bloody well knew him. And I'm not gonna forget him. I'm not. I'm not!
Oh, it's all right. No one's asking you to.
And when I apologized in front of all of you, I was saying that it never happened at all. I was saying those boys didn't even live, let alone die like that.
I want to get a few names from you.
Whose names? What do you mean?
Anyone who might have been there at Greylandstadt.
Well, I know some. Dick Edmonds is still around, and Ike Fraser, Lenny Powell.
Are you still in touch with him?
Yes.
To the old days, Georgie.
What are you doing?
Pressing.
What for, if I may ask?
I'm going to catch that train.
What have I done?
Nothing. I want you to call Cecil Short at the station. Tell him to hold that train.
Edgar? Wait a minute, Edgar! Edgar, are you sick in the head? Come here.
It's not even Irish.
One thing remains very clear out of all this, sir. This company is in desperate shape. I strongly recommend that it be disbanded with a plan to remobilize at a time when we can give them strict supervision on a regular basis.
What you're really saying is that they're not worth worrying about.
I was never one to shy from the truth, sir.
That you were not, Captain. Sturgis, on the other hand. Who are you?
Sergeant Sturgis, EL, sir.
Huh. Does this mean that if I hadn't spoken... You're not saying anything.
I'm stunned by the ignorance of this man. Further proof of his training, sir. Or lack of it.
Breeding, don't you mean?
I'd say that as well. Yes, sir.
We should ask him what he's doing here.
Answer the colonel.
I'm not sure I should, sir.
Listen to the cheek. You do as we ask and be quick about it, Sergeant.
I have something for the colonel.
Well, let's see it.
Are you deaf as well? Give it here.
Names and dates. Means nothing to me.
Explain.
Yes, sir, but it was meant only for the colonel, sir.
Captain Fleming can stay.
Thank you, sir.
Very well, sir. First, the names. Edmonds, R.J., Trooper. Fraser, I.L., Lance Corporal. Powell, L.S., Trooper. And then there are dates here as well, sir. Dates of enlistment, dates of service, South African campaign, dates of discharge. Strathcona's all, sir.
And what about them?
These three men. Two now residing in Hamilton and one in Kingston have agreed to appear before you at the Colonel's convenience to offer up evidence of certain acts of military impropriety, sir, carried out in and around the early days of the Greylandstad campaign.
Yes?
The evidence will speak for itself, sir. These men feel it is their duty in the name of the regiment and their unswerving loyalty to His Majesty the King to place in your custody the name of the person who had engineered said impropriety. Sir. Second page, sir.
Captain Fleming.
Do you know what this means?
Yes, I do, sir.
I wonder if you do, Sergeant. This charge sounds vengeful to me.
As I said, sir, they are willing and ready to testify.
This is the vilest form of insubordination it has been my displeasure to witness, sir. My record is without blemish, and it is beyond belief that I have to stand here defending myself in front of this primitive.
Why are you defending yourself, Captain?
Because if I don't, who will?
Do not jump to conclusions.
Don't you see that I'm lost if you don't take my word over this Canadians, for God's sake, sir?
I'm a Canadian, Captain Fleming.
You're not, sir. You're Sandhurst. I happen to know that, sir.
I was. But not before I was a Canadian, Captain.
Am I free to leave, sir?
No. This is yours too, I believe.
Oh? Well, perhaps, sir.
It has what looks like a glass stain on it. That's because I didn't send it. I had to think about a few things.
Of course.
Have you a decent hotel in Tamarack?
Yes, sir. The Mafra King, sir.
Mafra King. I should take this letter, and come and visit.
Truly, sir?
Truly, Sergeant. I shall need a good room.
I happen to know the owner, sir. You will have the Laurier room.
Good. I'll be there in a week's time. Which gives you only 3 more weeks before the maneuvers at Petawawa. And if you haven't been telling the truth about your unit, you have till I get there to make good. Understand?
Yes, sir.
And I wouldn't worry too much about your all-Canadian regiment. Lord Dundonald will be the last British general officer commanding. And other changes may follow. Dismiss, Sergeant. Congratulations, Lieutenant Sturgis. I'll expect a good word from Petawawa.
Thank you, sir. Company, slow, hard. Move to the left in column route. Clear, hard. On the left, big, hard. Right.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Run. There you are, Sergeant. Remember what I told you yesterday?
While in charge, I must keep daily reports, sir.
Good man. Here you are. Don't let the colonel see these. Eyes! Up!
As I return to yesterday, I see soft downy summertime.
Coming up next, keep the lights on and spend some time with the master of the macabre. Take a trip into the realm of mystery and suspense on Alfred Hitchcock Presents, next, only on Showcase. View it.
But if they are not the same as I've known them, still I would have all that I would need. Come tell of days so fine and oh so fair, once more to love again and all forgiving, of one with shining eyes and